let's get it. I'm trying to put money in your pocket, that crypto wallet, that bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market's sideways.
I'm about to drop some hugely powerful alpha. And that's what they call it. They call it alpha, believe me. Okay? And not many people know this, but alpha means that I know big things, strong things, powerful things. So here's the alpha, folks. If you want to be hugely rich like me, you got to join and subscribe to the BLEEVESCRYPTO YouTube channel. You got to become a member because many people say, quite frankly, it's the strongest YouTube channel out there. It's fantastic. It's the best. So let me know what you think, folks. Funny Donald Duck.
I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this. It's not financial advice, but I'm always right. 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 Lady, and I got my shine. Money in my pocket and we're feeling fine. Radio's loud and we're playing Sublime. I think it's gonna be a good day, my oh my. I can't believe I made it this far, it's a miracle. Floating in the clouds now, used to be miserable. Never looking back since I changed my ways. I'm on that good life tip today. I'm looking for the good life, good life. Sitting on top of the world, I wanna be shining like diamonds and pearls. I want you to go there with me, girl. I'm looking for the good life, good life. Baby, we can have it all. We can make love by the waterfalls. I'm living that good life after all. Yeah. La da da da, good life, sitting by the fire. La da day, good life, feeling that breeze.
What is going on, everybody? I hope that you are having a great morning. If you are watching the CPI, you are not having a great morning because everybody was wrong and it did not end as well as anybody. And guys, I told you I didn't think that it was going to be good. And here we are. CPI rose to 6.4 over the last 12 months. Estimates were for 6.2. We are now at 6.4, meaning that there will be a sell-off probably already happening. That would be a guess. I mean, you know, it could turn into the market just runs crazy because they're happy that it came down for a little bit. And there could be a lot of people that are just kind of investing and running in. So let's see what happens. 1516 on Ethereum. It looks like the price did run up. I exited everything that was not a that was not like a meme coin or anything like that. Like I exited as much as possible just because I knew that, you know, something could potentially be negative and it could be looked at negative. So we'll see how this market kind of trends. Everything, by the way, was green just a little while ago. So again, we're at 6.4. So I would expect to see a little bit of negativity start to develop in the market. Maybe, just maybe, the market's going to kid itself for a little while. But we're going to parse that data apart and they're going to see that inflation came in super hot and get prepared for a move down because I get this feeling that this does not end very well. But you know what? Crazier things have happened right now. So, I mean, you know, we'll see what happens, I guess. We're starting to see the total market cap, by the way, as you can see over here. We did get the golden cross, of course, but you can see the market cap is red for the last hour. We're at 35 minutes and it's green again. It's pumping up. It's pumping down. So it looks like bulls and bears are just kind of jockeying for position right now. But I get the feeling that we're going to have a bearish move to the downside happening very, very, very shortly. And the best we could hope for would be that this 50 EMA, that SMA, starts acting as support, I guess. Or who the hell knows? This market is so crazy that you might see you might see something crazy happen. And you might just see everything just start running and going crazy. So, but this is the rush right before. This is people trying to secure their positions, get in where you fit in, so to speak. And I mean, I don't feel good about this number, but it looks like the market so far has not really dumped. So it's getting a little bit of a pump out of it. That's not a bad thing. But again, I mean, this could just be people are putting themselves in a position. I mean, you can see this candle that developed right here on Ethereum. You know, I told you we're going to get a giant candle. Well, we got a giant candle and it looks positive for the moment. Same thing with Bitcoin over here, but the Bitcoin one is in the red. So it's a little weird that that they're, matter of fact, we don't need this anymore. So again, you can see that big candle for the trading volume, with it coming all the way down to 21.5 and pumping up to 21.9. So we're going to see how this all settles, but I would not expect a pump out of this. And if you listen to me for the last couple of days, you would know I did not expect it to come in at 6.2, despite what everybody was saying. It was too good to be true, and here we are. So, but the only thing we can do now is just kind of move on, see where the market goes. We're going to put a pin in this. We're going to come back to it in just a little while. We're going to go over here, kind of look at the news, and we're going to start off with Shiba. Shiba Inu algorithm predicts a SHIB price for the end of 2023, right? And currently trading at 1246. At the end of the year, the coin price forecast estimates that Shiba price could be 1474. So they're predicting about a 15% increase in the price over the course of the next year. Not very bullish, if you ask me. Also, there was another right here. Shiba Inu price set to rally after defending this important level, and that level was 1200. And this says that Shiba Inu could be in wave B of an ABC corrective structure. The price has fallen at the drop. The price bounced at the 1200 level. This is a crucial area. It has intermittently acted as both resistance and support for 6 months. Moreover, daily RSI is at 50, indicating a neutral trend. Therefore, price rose off of the bounce. So while a bounce could lead to highs of 1570, which ironically, that's exactly where we're talking about and where we're saying it's probably going to go. So that makes perfect sense. I'm actually saying 1573 and then 1787 on Shiba. So yeah, there's going to be a correction. There's going to be a move to the upside. We'll see if it's maintained, obviously. But this kind of goes to the wayside right now. But it says, as per the latest weekly report from Glassnode, the accumulation trend score shows that investors have been distributing Bitcoin recently. The accumulation trend score is an indicator that measures whether investors have been buying or selling within the last 30 days. For the calculation of the score, the metrics account for both the aggregate balance changes in the wallet of the investors and the size of their wallets. The indicator puts a higher weightage on large entities like whales. Whenever the indicator's value is close to 1, it means large entities are accumulating right now. So, as displayed in the above graph, Bitcoin accumulation trend score has recently declined in value as the rally has gone on and has assumed distribution values. The indicator's value is below 0.25, which means that large entities have been participating in a decent amount of selling. So, that would mean that the run on the Bitcoin price, look, we might be at the end of this little run that we were having. So, you know, that's, I mean, there's not much you can say about it other than, you know, at this point, we have to consider in the market is now starting to bleed. All of that big pump that just happened is gone. So, or it's ending right now, and we are seeing the liquidation of the market. Now, 6.4 is not, it is better than the month before. So we're going to take solace in the fact that the market result is better than it was the month before, but we also have to consider that that's not a great number, especially when everybody was predicting a 6.2 or in a worst case, a 6.3. That 6.4 is a big miss. So we'll see how long it takes for people to say, well, on the other hand, it's still better than it was. So, I would expect to see, if you're Ethereum, I'm going to expect to see a little bit more than what we're seeing right now. In fact, if you kind of, pay attention to where it's settling right now on the low end of these wicks, then I would think that in the next little while, we are probably going to see something along the lines of a 1450 Ethereum. Maybe we'll get a bounce from there. Maybe we'll even get some support at 1460, but I would think that we're probably going to make a move a little bit further down. Same thing for Bitcoin, I would say. Not as dramatic, because it seems like this 24.5, the 21.5 is a really big area of support. So if that breaks down, then we got 21.2. And then after that, it might get a little sticky icky all the way down to 20,006. So maybe 20,007. But now the only thing left is to find out where it falls and where we go from there. So that's on the 1 hour, by the way. Remember, something to remember for everybody who's paying attention. And thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, please hit the like button. That helps me tremendously. It helps this video trend, helps get more people looking. And that's why Donald Trump is loves this channel so much. Thinks of it bigly. That's one of the reasons, right? So we still have the golden cross, right? So we have to account for that. And we have to remember that golden cross is a big, big deal, right? And has always been representative of a massive sort of move. However, in the first month of the golden cross, we've gone down 4.74% on average, with about a 47% increase over 6 months and about a 70% increase over the course of 12 months after the golden cross is formed on the daily. So I do think that means that we are on the move up, right? But we're going to have that correction, that downward sort of pressure. And so far, that dip has only been a couple of percentage points in the total overall. On Bitcoin, since the cross, the downward pressure has been from here down to here, which is about 6.8%. So you make an argument that maybe it's over for Bitcoin, and maybe we hold support, in fact, because that's a very bullish sort of crossover. And I mean, look at how much it's moving now. That could just be the charts, but you can see here that it just doesn't look as dramatic on Ethereum as it does on Bitcoin. So we're about to find out. You can see right here in the last day, we've used the SMA for support on the 50, and let's remove that trend line and just kind of leave it open and see what happens. But if this falls down on Ethereum, you're going to see the same thing. Now, again, consequently, the other thing we might see is people just shrug this off and say, oh, well. So let's get into chat right now and see how everything is going. Arun, good morning. M Crypto, good morning. Crypto Life back in the house after a little sabbatical. Richard Caldwell, good morning. The name was Demi Damari, who does the Good Life song. I just responded to you by text message. Mr. P in the house, what is going on? Nick Bright, good morning. Optimism, we'll see. Ben Farrer, good morning. Ryo, happy CPI day. No, it wasn't. But it could have been. It could have been. Greg M, what is going on? Tony P in the house. Beaver Lumber. Juicy 143 in the house. Glenn Allen, what is going on? Jeff T in the house. Mr. Cryptocurrency, thank you for the $20 bomb. Says NGN is a true masterpiece. You found us, Bleez. It's growing like nothing I've ever witnessed in DeFi. Not the regular big pump and then followed by a dump. This community is amazing and team is great. You can't ask for better. And at this point, guys, we're up 42x. Remember, our original position here was at 2 cents. We got in on NGN at 2 cents, and it's now at 84 cents. So again, $116, which is now with a dip in Ethereum, it might actually be 3.02 Ethereum off of $116. So you could take that as a win in any category. Luke Denson, looks like the Feds will have to raise rates by 50 basis points instead of 25, which will dump the markets. We're not going to find that until March. Last month was 6.5. The estimate for this month was 6.2. A couple were doing 6.3. Nobody was doing 6.4. Sakib in the house, what is going on? I think it will fall around 20,500. Well, shit, that's exactly what we just said. Yeah, that seems to be the logical target for Bitcoin to fall. Maybe it holds. We do have to consider here that this is a long way down, right? In this kind of area here, as you come back over here, you'll start to see how it fills out. Like I think we might hold at a better area right now, but I mean, we're going to see what happens. The bulls have not been doing very well. So, and holding support again, if you haven't already, by the way, hit that like and subscribe button. But let's get as many people in here as we can. So I appreciate that if you would. There we go. Use butter on the like button. It may not be 20,500. So, we're going to find out pretty soon though. Best thing about CPI days is early breakfast with Bigley. Oh, he said Bigley.
I'm about to drop some hugely powerful alpha. And that's what they call it. They call it alpha, believe me. Okay? And not many people know this, but alpha means that I know big things, strong things, powerful things. So here's the alpha, folks. If you want to be hugely rich like me, you got to join and subscribe to the BLEEVESCRYPTO YouTube channel. You got to become a member because many people say, quite frankly, it's the strongest YouTube channel out there. It's fantastic. It's the best. So let me know what you think, folks. Funny Donald out.
And if it's good enough for Donald Trump, it's got to be good enough for you, right? You're not a multimillionaire pretending to be a billionaire, telling everybody that you won an election. So until you get there, you ain't there yet. You know what I mean? What the heck is going on with Tectonic and Crow? A big dump. A big dump is what's happening. And by the way, it's not limited to Crypto V. It's not limited to Crow. The big dump is happening to a lot of the Kronos chain or Cosmos system right now. You can see Lunk is down 2.5%. USTC is down about 5%. And what tends to happen is Cosmos has started to kind of move opposite the normal markets. Crow was moving kind of with the markets, and then we're starting to get this little breakaway. We're in the beginning of it. Hopefully it won't maintain that way. But hello from Australia, Mike Lonzo. What's going on, my man? Appreciate that. LSD in the house. Bitcoin back to 19.5. I don't think it goes down that much. I don't think it goes down that much. The local 420. Giant Wookie says moist. So let me reiterate: moist, 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 moist. Lando A, the market is tough. I'm just going to keep DCAing. Is it too late for NGN? It's not too late, Lando, for NGN, by the way. If you're interested, 653,000 market cap. So it's reasonable to expect that you're going to get a $6 to $10 million market cap on most projects. I mean, this is a supported project. It's on, I think, 2 exchanges so far, and it's got more exchanges coming in the pipeline. They are using the Volt method. The Volt method is to get listed on as many exchanges as possible early, start to spread out, start to gain investors at a decent clip, and build for the future while building what is an AI project. And the NGN AI project is it's a crypto investment device. It's going to help you make informed decisions about which cryptos that you could actually invest in. It won't give you financial advice, but it will tell you what it thinks of the odds of a crypto making a move. It's going to analyze it for you. It's going to tell you what it thinks, and does it have any upside. So it's going to be interesting. BRL in the house. The event in London is soon, 4 days away from the BRL event at 20 Leek Street. And by the way, 20 Leek Street is one of the places where, in fact, you can go and you can see that they've had they've hosted events for Apple, for Google, for just major brands. So this is a big time show happening for BRL. So if you're interested and you're in London, go to bullrun.life and see what you can do. All the AI indicators show Bitcoin is going to go down. I mean, they would be right. There's no logical reason for it to stay up other than bulls are just pumping, right? And that's exactly what's happening right now. Bulls are just pumping. You can see that they are holding ground. Let's pop over here, and you can see that they are holding ground, and they've just added $3 billion in capital into the market. The DXY is declining, so it makes no sense, but you can see the pre-markets over here have now flipped to negative with negative 38 on NASDAQ. So, yeah, so some of what's happening right now makes no sense. And it could just be that there are a lot of longs out here trying to protect their positions, and they're willing to throw capital at it because they know that in the next hour or two, we're going to start seeing some real dip happen. And, you know, it could just be that people are throwing money at it just to try to cool off the amount of longs that are about to get liquidated, and they're trying to hedge. And, you know, I mean, maybe look, if you can pop a few shorts, right? If you can get into this, if you can throw enough capital at this to make a nice run happen in crypto, and you can show that Bitcoin is acting as a real hedge against what's happening right now, then I mean, you've really accomplished what the world has set out to do with Bitcoin. So, I mean, you know, there's always that possibility that just some random event is about to happen where crypto just shrugs off the rest of the market and starts to move. Now, it seems strange to say that because I'm saying it, and as I'm saying it, I realize it's kind of dumb because with the lack of regulation and the lack of oversight. Now, that does, by the way, there is something big that just happened. So I don't know how it plays out, but there is something big that just happened that we'll talk about in just a few minutes. So, I mean, anything is possible at this point. CEO says went to 469 recently. And yeah, the run up on BRL, for anybody who was paying attention, it's at $1.54 right now. But the number that it ran up to was $4.67. And that was way back here, $4.69.96. And that was that run up that came on over here. You can see here that it's following kind of this trend line right now, continuing to hit it and accumulate a little bit higher, a little bit higher, a little bit higher, so that at some point pretty soon, the floor on it's going to be at least $2. So good opportunity on NGN, good opportunity on BRL, good opportunity all around. And Volt is continuing to Volt right now at 1873, continuing to make that move. Busted through, remember, we have this trend line right here, busted through that trend line, heading up to this 2000. So we'll see how this goes. You can notice the trend line here was kind of to the downside right now, and we're actually just banging at that trend line right now. I don't think that that's going to matter, because if you go over here and you look at the Volt tokens, then you can see that the dashboard is showing the remaining supply is 55 trillion. Also, if you go to coin market cap and you check out Volt, you now see the circulating supply is down to 54,766 billion. And all of that supply, by the way, that's going into the burn wallet, which means that when the reflections are happening, and Volt still continues to get reflections, when the reflections are happening, guess what? The burn is going to get significantly bigger. So there's a lot going on for Volt, and this is the first day of 5 days worth of burns. So they've burned. So the burn, by the way, 75 million at current market value. So 15 million was burned today. 15 million again and it's amounts, by the way, but yeah, it's split up over 5 days, so it's like 8 a day. So yeah, kind of a massive move there. So we'll see how this whole thing sort of plays out. What's up? Yeah. So let's gotcha. So let's see what happens here. Here's the news that we were talking about, though. Blockchain Association files an amicus brief, wants to stem the SEC's regulation by enforcement trend. Now, here's the argument. The argument is that that the SEC, they're not doing anything about this market. They're just throwing they're just throwing shit at everybody just to see what will stick, and they don't have any rules and regulations. Now remember, there was a video that came out a couple days ago, and I'm going to paraphrase it, and it was Gary Gensler, and he comes out like this. Hey, do you like steak? Because I like steak, but I like the steak that you eat, but also I don't like the steak where you're staking, and you're doing the steak with the steak stuff with the staking, and then also you like A1. I don't know if you like A1. I might like A1, but I'm not really sure. Oh, my eyes are falling apart. Let me put them back over here. And then he just says some random shit about how, and to be fair, like that made perfect sense. The video that he made perfect sense. However, here's the problem. He said, all you have to do is just register with the SEC if you're doing the staking. Well, there's no mechanism with which you can register with the SEC, and everybody who's tried to register with the SEC has been declined. Now, what does that mean? That means there's no path to do what he said. So what are you supposed to do there? So that's where it's coming from. So now the amicus briefing has been filed here. They want to counter that they see as a trend by the United States Securities and Exchange Commission to regulate crypto projects by enforcement. Now, we've also had Hester Pierce, who's one of the people at the SEC, say the same thing, saying that what Gary Gensler is doing is wrong, it's misguided, and it's not healthy for anybody. So, and as you go through this, then you'll see here, the SEC filed a complaint yesterday accusing 10 companies of violating security laws, 9 digital asset issuers, and 1 exchange. None of them are defendants in the case. None of them will get their day in court. What does that mean? That means that he's trying to hit people. He's trying to hit people, and then he's ignoring giving them their day in court because he doesn't want them to fight. Then they sue somebody else who can't defend themselves. Like, for example, Kraken. Kraken didn't throw money at this. They just like, okay, fine. We'll stop doing that. And we'll give you $30 million, Gary. You can buy yourself a new eye or whatever it is that he does with the money. So that's the frustration, and we'll see how they react to it over the next little while. Anyway, so back into the chat. Lando, this project is under $1 million market cap, so early as ever. Who's the actor? It's so good. His name is Alex. Trump 2024. All right. Believes is a lefty figures. I think maybe a comma right there. Believes is a lefty figures. Something like that. Yeah. Bad CPI and now Shibarium will be out before May instead of today. So Bond and Shib might dump. Now, if you were in Team Shib and you see this as an opportunity to accumulate, remember, I told you this is going to cross over right here, and this is going to break out at some point, right? Well, it looks like it's going to break to the downside if there's no Shibarium until May. So, apparently, is it Ryoshi said you can take your heart-shaped box and stick it in wherever you want it. I mean, wherever you want to stick. Yeah, it's fine. It's a new world. It's a crazy new world. So, I mean, stick it wherever you want, I guess. You know, that's the way that it works. Yeah, so Bone and everything else probably going to just have a nice little dip. Also, we're at CMC. We're approved by NGN. All right, so NGN, for those of you that have it in your wallet, is going to start being tracked very soon. Who's seen is in the house. What is going on? Volt is holding ground crazy. Just getting in, pump or dump today. Today is dump day. Good morning. Tell Stacy we said hi. Wish the SEC commissioner would fire him. Yeah. AI SHIB started pumping, floor at 200K. Governor would tax off gains. What happens when Fidelity allows staking on their big money wallet? Be allowed mysteriously. CPI was 6.4. AI Shiba is giving rewards. All right. Crypto Steve-O is vaulting in the house. Oliver Smith on Ethereum network. Registration is just a big fishing net. You're pretty much admitting you're breaking the law. That's exactly what's happening right now. That's exactly what they're doing. They're trying to, this is, look, the SEC is a bunch of goons at this point, being run by a goon that's got weird eyes. Hey, God damn it. Gary Gensler is one of the Goonies. Hold on. Gary Gensler. Hey, you guys. Look at this. All this time, Gary Gensler's been right there, and we didn't know. Ain't that a bitch? So, yeah. So, let's get back into the rest of what's going on. CoinDesk has an article on Volt Inu up right now. Volt Inu community passes vote for 75 million token burn, plans Polygon network expansion. By the way, if you have not already, Volt is now number 279 in overall cryptos. It's being accurately tracked by CoinMarketCap finally. So big things are happening over here in the Volt community. Some 12 trillion Volt were staked in favor of the token burn proposal. A now concluded community vote to burn 45 trillion Volt tokens on a BNB to ETH bridge was passed Monday by voters. These tokens are worth over 75 million when voting on the proposal ended. Volt has a market capitalization of 107 million as of Tuesday. The project also plans to expand to the Polygon network in a bid to acquire new users. Initially a meme coin themed after wolves, Volt Inu offers to users a decentralized exchange and a dragon-themed NFT collection. Developers said burning the tokens on the liquidity bridge is a security measure to protect against bridge attacks while improving token value for holders. In view of the events and hacks of the cross-chain bridge has experienced in recent months, we have nevertheless deemed it appropriate to try to reduce the impact of such attacks by reducing the liquidity locked in the bridge contract. Bridges are blockchain-based tools that allow users to transfer tokens between two blockchains. However, they're also very susceptible to attacks. Developers said that while the liquidity lock on the bridge contract will be reduced by burning 44.85 trillion Volt, some liquidity will in the bridge will be important for arbitrage and meeting the liquidity demands of exchanges. The burns will have a short-term impact and also generate long-term deflationary impact by increasing reflections accumulated by burn addresses. A similar burn was earlier conducted by Floki DAO, a Shiba Inu themed crypto project. Earlier in February at CoinDesk, Floki burned over 100 million worth of tokens and completely dissolved its BNB chain to Ethereum bridge as part of a broader move towards positioning itself as a serious DeFi project. So, and guys, it cannot be understated if you did not and you haven't been following when Floki did that. Let's go back over here and just kind of look at what happened to the price. Remember, it was down here and the 8s up here, and it 5x'd. So Floki went 5x upon doing that. So what do you expect Volt's going to do? I get a feeling. I got a feeling. So, and that puts us at the all-time high and then above the all-time high. So, if all of this plays out to the best advantage, that's going to be incredible. So, if you haven't already, do your own research. Check out Volt. Bitcoin hits record 44 million non-zero addresses thanks to ordinals. This is coming from Glassnode. The Bitcoin NFT known as ordinals has tipped the number of non-zero Bitcoin addresses to a new all-time high of 44 million. Now, is that impressive? Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know that it's as huge a deal as you would want it to be, but it does mean anybody who's got one of those NFTs that doesn't have Bitcoin might be a little bit more apt to buy Bitcoin. I mean, to be fair, if you take your Bitcoin off of an exchange and just put some of it in a DeFi wallet and like, you know, spread it out a little bit, then it looks like there's more wallets holding it. So I don't know that that really does anything. On the other hand, maybe some indicators are when there's enough wallets holding, other people starting to get in. So, I mean, you never know. You never know what's going to happen. So, and finally over here, Shiba Inu rival explodes nearly 60% in 1 week as project launches a token burn portal. And this is not Volt, by the way. Baby Doge has now opened a burn portal. The burn portal is now live. Burn your Baby Doge for lower buy fees at Baby Doge swap/burn portal. According to Baby Doge's Twitter account, the portal puts burn power in the hands of the community, gives users lower buy fees to purchase Baby Doge, and reduces the supply of the meme token. In the last 24 hours, the project burned 81 trillion Baby Doge, worth 321,000, with over 202 quadrillion Baby Doge, worth about 804 million, torched throughout the meme token's existence. So you got some action happening over here on Baby Doge. I think people are starting to come in line with the fact there are too many tokens on some of these projects, and things are happening now to kind of bring it in line or into a better alignment. And we are now seeing the Dow move back to the positive. We got 25 minutes before it opens. Crypto market cap is at 1.05 trillion, 48 billion in traded volume. It's time to come back over here and check it out. Down to 959. When we left, it was 963. So we lost 4 billion coming out of the market. But you know what? This is trending in a positive direction, guys. This dump may not happen. It might come later, or again. And if you haven't already, hit that like button for me, please. I appreciate it. Thank you for everything. Maybe people are digesting this in a positive way. Let's go look at CPI and let's see if there are any articles up trying to gauge how inflation cooled. Inflation rose in January more than expected and up 6.4% from a year ago. Inflation rises 0.5 over last month in January, most since October. 30 minutes ago, U.S. inflation stays elevated, adding pressure for more Fed hikes. So this market is not going to react. Inflation down slightly in January, a worry for the Fed. So stock futures are flat after January. Inflation shows 6.4. CPI shows U.S. inflation still sticky. Inflation rises month over month in January. Core CPI roughly stable at 5.6. So there's no good news. So I guess we should go back here and say what you're seeing right now is probably what I said before, is a bunch of longs trying to fix their position in the long term because it's about to get a go. So again, I mean, you can expect to see a little bit of run on price action. Let's get to the 1 hour. And if we're looking at the 1 hour, then we got to consider that at least 1484, at least 1470, let's call it 1470, as a dip in the price action. And then down here, because you want that local low, and that local low does correspond over here. And then after that, it is a long way down, that 1436 level, and then 1419, and then the big one is at 1350. So we're going to put that there, and we're going to change that to a 4 and a red, because that, just like this one down here, represents some that's a line we really don't want to cross. So not looking great right now. Not looking great at all. But you know what is looking great? Volt still. Volt is still on that pump. So NGN still on that pump, 84.88. Lillian recovering a little bit of, by the way, Lillian V2 was announced over there. So that's what you're seeing. That's why you're seeing a little bit of a run right here on Lillian, since they have that V2 coming. Hulk up 9%. So BCB up 7%. Kabosu up 7%. Floki up 5%. Wagme up 3.6%. Cult 2.7%. Decanect up 1.5%. MMAI to 35.85, up 1%. Saitama trading basically even. Terra trading basically even. BRL $1.54. SHIB 12.33 and falling. Yeah, so I don't, if we're getting Shibariums not until May, we're probably not going to see very much coming out of SHIB right now. So we'll do some SHIB content later on. This is, and you should consider this when Shibarium actually does come out. It's going to be massive. It's going to be impressive. It's going to move charts, and it's going to be a great opportunity. So now what we're going to do is I'll do some analysis. We'll look at the chart. We'll find out where that bottom could be, and then that's going to be our accumulation zone. And we should not buy until we get there. But anyway, 12.33, and Bone is down to $1.31. Now, remember, Bone is in that buy zone right there, but this is your little test spot. Like it from here, if this is your spot right here, this is what we were talking about before. Now we know that Shibarium is not coming, so this does not look like an accumulation area. This now becomes the accumulation area at $1.19. So if you're interested in making a play, you make a little play right there and see what happens. Then you start to zoom out a little bit and figure out what's another position. Another position right here is right at $1. Then you have this right here at 90 cents. And then you have this right here at 76 cents. So 76 cents looks like the magic number right there. If you can get down to that level, then it's a great opportunity. And this one right here, that is a major zone of control right there. Like this is a this 93 right here is a big area, or 91.4 is a big area where there's a massive amount of, and guys, you got to look this right here, right here, right here, across there, and across here. This is a massive point of contention. So it's very possible that it doesn't dip down below 91 cents again. Because the longer you go over here, the more you see that is a very well fought area. You might even be able to say that somewhere in $1.07 range has been almost as active, not quite, but so there's your accumulation spot. SHIB is now in a fall. It's down to 12.29, continuing the little dip, and there is a massive sell-off happening. You're starting to see it right now because Shibarium. Let's go see on Twitter what we've got going on with Shibarium now, because again, this is an accumulation opportunity for SHIB. Remember, here's the thing to never forget this. SHIB will always run. SHIB will always run. SHIB. Let's see. Aped and a completely trusted Vev. I don't care when Shibarium is released. Okay, so here we go. We're starting to get it now. Shibarium release. You get the idea. Nope. Only so many times one can give hints and promises before all faith is lost. Going to dump my assets today, including my Shiboshis. Was a huge believer, not anymore. All right, so now you're starting to see people who are like, I was a huge believer when I thought I was going to make a whole bunch of money and I could just hold it and that would happen. And now you're finding out that, yeah, that's not exactly what was going on here. So, Enoch. Shibarium cannot be trusted because if they give a reason of one person for Shibarium development, then it's a complete nonsense. So many people invested in SHIB instead of buying medicines for the what in the absolute. Okay. All right now. All right, here we go. So I'll wait for the highly anticipated. We sat down with Shibarium. All right, let's go check over here. Nope. What do we get here? Nothing. Yeah, we got no real anything here. So we got Jake just jaking it. 10 million SHIB transferred to the nope. All right, well, there we go. FX Crypto News is where it's coming from. Satoshi Kusama confirms Shibarium release ahead of May. Leading Shiba Inu developer Satoshi Kusama has disclosed that Shibarium, the much anticipated layer 2 network for the cryptocurrency will be released before heart-shaped box. Kusama revealed this in response to a member of the Shiba community who suggested that Shibarium might be made available today. According to Shiba Inu influencer Lucy's screenshot, Shibarium is most likely to be released today. To the remark, Kusama said may be. However, Kusama made it clear that he was simply kidding, asserting may be. We'll see when the devs align. It's not 1, it's 3 plus unification. Shibarium when it's ready. Shiba Inu community members responded in various ways to Kusama's most recent comments after discovering that Shibarium may launch within the next 2 months. Stop worrying about Shibarium's launch in May, says Kusama. Following the enormous response, Kusama pleaded with the public to stop worrying about the launch in May and instead offer support for Kal Daira, the developer of Shiba Inu who lost his father recently. See, okay, guys, look. First of all, Shiba Inu is going to have a run. We understand and we know that Shiba Inu is going to have a run. But if you're telling people, look, I mean, you can only give so many clues before people start to lose faith. And if you give them a clue and you say heart-shaped box, then people know what that means. That means February. That's it, right? There's no other heart-shaped box kind of area or region or any kind of like this. This right now is it wasn't ready. And and then instead of addressing the situation, he says, no. Let's stop worrying about that. Let's worry about Kal, who's mourning his father. And that you should be helping if you believe in this project and one of the developers is having some issues over the loss of his father, then you should be respectful of that. And you should do everything you can to be supportive. But at the same time, that's a shady sort of move to do that. So anyway, this creates or will create an enormous dip on SHIB. There'll be some buyback. There'll be some people who are fighting it. There'll be some, but look, right now, only a small percentage to consider here. Only a very small percentage of the population even knows what's going on right now. When they figure out what's going on, then and they see it, then this wedge right here that was going to break out to the positive, all of this positivity is going to be gone, and we're going to be looking at this price action down here again. And you know, I mean, to be fair, like this price is not going to be supported at this level. We're going to be seeing a lot of downward pressure, right? Does it hit these new lows again? Does it get down here? Maybe not. I mean, maybe it kind of holds itself up here, and maybe it doesn't put that zero back on. Maybe it's got some support in these levels. I mean, because there is support around that 401 level, but yeah, this is not good, especially if you're SHIB. Like you've been doing this all this time. You've been waiting for this day because he's indicated and said and alluded to this day, and now the day is here, and you're getting told, just kidding. It's not cool. So SHIB's got some dumping to do. So SHIB's going to dump pretty hard, or should dump pretty hard, and then after that, it's going to be a great buy opportunity. Thank you for the Valor Bomb. Relax with me says, sorry, late to the video. I was in a meeting. Believes you may have already explained, but will the volt burn lower circulating supply? Saw no change. It does. Yeah, it does. And it's complicated. And I'm going to start explaining it here. And if I get one piece wrong, then, you know, somebody's going to be like, meh. So the simple answer is yes. It's something that takes time because, you know, you can't, here's the simple answer. The simple answer is you can't take the trillions of tokens that people already own, right? You can't take the tokens that people own. You can only take the bridge liquidity. So that's what's happening. You're taking the bridge liquidity, which of course changes the volume and changes the total number of supply. Like, for example, people hate this, but I'm right. It's 138 trillion tokens, right? 69 trillion plus the bridge, that's 138 trillion, right? Well, if you cut that down by a huge amount, well, then you don't have 138 trillion. Like if you have 100 trillion, then you only have like 50 trillion as that supply, less whatever's been burned. So yeah, it's all going to go way down. Like we're going to start seeing this. Give it a few days and let this pump happen. Let it quote unquote, let it breathe. Let this thing just breathe naturally, and then you're going to start to see a real run on the price action. Remember, they're going to be burning a whole bunch more today. And when you come over here and you start looking at the dead wallets and you see the amounts that are in the dead wallet, it's going to continue to increase and increase and increase, which is going to mean the burn increases and increases and increases, and more exposure, more Polygon, more of all of this means more burns, more people trading, more of everything. And this is going to end up being sort of a game-changing sort of play, So it's just a matter of time right now. Remember where you were. And now think about where you are. Okay, so there's you're in a great position. So continue to stay in that great position. Continue to support your project, and you're going to be super, super happy. Remember, 120 million market cap, 360 million was the all-time high, and we are on our way to that spot. It's not going to take that much more time. So, yeah, we're in a good spot. All right, the market continues to bleed just a little bit. Again, it's just kind of slow and low. But we're going to move on from Satoshi and Shibarium, and we got our Volt up everywhere. Like, Jesus Christ, I got every Volt website up. But so this is the big thing right here. 16 million in volume right now. So this is the big spot, right? 16 million in volume is insane. Circulating supply down to 54.7 trillion. And, we're just watching this all happen. And by the way, we can go over here and at burn. Here's burn Volt, which is the burn tracker. $24 burned, $3,200 burned. Here we go. It's 390,000 burned, $2.74, $1.15. Here it is, 13,330. Jesus Christ. $13 million was burned. 8.28 trillion added to the dead wallet, and it was reported an hour ago. So that is just bonkers. If you go over here and start looking around and start poking through wallets and shit like that, then you're going to find there's the 13 million introduced into it's just, that's what, 13.3 trillion now. You got to add these two wallets right here, because this is these two dead wallets right here getting reflections, and so that is just a bonkers sort of number. And by the way, that dwindles the supply to 54 trillion. So yeah, we're going to start seeing that, and that's going to keep coming down a little bit every day. So, whew. And then let's go down here. You can see that there's just billions and millions and millions all the time that are being moved over into that wallet. And it's constantly happening. Look at the volume. This is volume for trading, by the way. These are the things that are done through the wallet. And Crypti was down a little bit earlier today, by the way. So I'm not sure what the status is on whether it's up yet or not. But yeah, it looks like it's still down. So Crypti must be being worked on right now. But as you go down this list and as you start checking these out, here's 275 million being transferred, another 275 million being transferred, 443 being transferred. Just money, just tons of money being transferred into this dead wallet over and over and over and over. It's just enormous, the amount of burn that's happening right now. So yeah, that's crazy. It's just absolutely out of control how much this is going to end up affecting the price overall. So but all you have to do right now is just give it a little bit of time, let this whole thing kind of play itself out. So the pre-market's down to 79. We're gonna get a quick look over here. 958. So we've lost another billion in the market cap. Matic. Okay, so there's 69 trillion tokens total that are available for trading. In order to have 69 trillion tokens available for trading on a bridge, you have to have the same number on the bridge. So there's 69 trillion on the bridge plus 69 trillion in active circulation, which is 138 trillion. So when you're burning those 138 trillion, what you're doing is you're creating a situation in which you're going to have to put into the bridge some of the supply, which is going to reduce the supply overall. That's all. It's just if you burn 10 trillion, then the maximum amount available on each exchange is going to go down, because that bridge liquidity is the easiest way to burn the tokens, because you can't take tokens from people. So that's where 138 trillion comes from. It's from the bridge, and the bridge is the same amount as the circulating supply. So that reduces the circulating supply, because you then have to use some of those as time goes by to replenish that bridge, by the way. So you'll see over time, you're going to start seeing you're going to start seeing some moves. And by the way, we got a big red candle here on the 1 hour. Now we're starting to form. We got that little fight over here that we had going on when the data first came out. Now we've got this full on dump. 953 being the low number. I mean, I guess you could argue that it's being held up pretty well. Like this is really holding up very well, considering where we are. I do think, however, when the Dow starts to turn green, or starts to turn red, and it's going to launch in just a few minutes, when the Dow turns red, I think we're going to start looking, and we're going to see that these are going to start to wane. And we're going to start seeing some 14s, and we're going to start seeing some radical sort of liquidations. It's what makes the most sense. We're going to do at LIQS, and we're going to start seeing what do we have that's hitting right now. So what we got right now, 54 minutes ago. So there's no big look. Everything is dead right now. Short liquidation, but very small amounts. Huobi 77,000. Binance 58,000. We're not seeing massive liquidations, right? We're seeing a couple of shorts, long liquidation, another long, a long. But again, these are not big amounts. These are not like massive market moving sort of things. And it looks like longs and shorts are both going at it. So, and we're still down 72. So this market is about to open up, and ETH is now down to 1503, so we're really starting to see it wane. We're starting to see the rush on that downward pressure starting to happen. And on the 5-minute chart, you can actually really see it. You've got this. Where is it? Right here. We got the topping wick over here, and then that continues here. Every time the pump comes up, people are selling down. So we also had that bottoming, but then it's just kept moving downward. So that pretty much invalidated that part. So now we just got this downward sort of pressure that we're going to have to deal with. And I'm looking at any moment now, we could just see this thing start to capitulate all the way down into just a lower area. So we're going to be testing some lows pretty soon. With the first one in line here, we'll probably stop for a cup of coffee at this 21,564, probably somewhere right there, or 21,559 is the number. So we'll probably stop at 21,559, see if we can bounce off of that, see if we can gather some bull support. After that, it's going to drop down into this 21,500 or 21,459 level, and that's going to be the next level. And I mean, you can see that this is all red, and it's not getting better. It's all red, and the average the signal line is right here, and we are way below the signal line. If you guys can see that, if I didn't write it over, but that blue line is your signal line, and that would generally be your SMA that says whether or not you're going to be pumping, and it is going way down. So this pressure, this downward momentum is probably going to continue, and we're now at 955. So now we're at 14.99 on Ethereum. The markets are about to open. The market just opened down 128. So yeah, now we're starting to feel a little bit of the pressure, and this is yeah, it's not going to look good. It's not going to look good. So we got a big candle. That's the candle's getting bigger and forming pretty heavy. The sell-off has started. That's going to mean that the crypto market is going to start too. We're going to start seeing some massive sell down on this too. 14.99. I hope that you've stabled yourself and got yourselves out of the way because we are about to experience a little bit of downward pressure. USTC down 6.67%. Luna Classic down 284. SHIB just went off the rails. People just figured out what's happening. So what we just said was going to happen, it just happened for SHIB. So we're going to start to experience some new lows down here. And don't forget, by the way, don't forget if Hex starts to dip super hard, don't forget that Hex is the play at about 2 cents. Like I'm not even making that up. Hex is the play at 2 cents. Now we're going to refresh Liquidations Rush, and we're going to see how this thing plays out, because we should start to see long liquidation. There it is, long liquidation. 325,000, 160,000 long liquidation. So we just saw the first of three. We just saw 3 of them in a row. So that's not that big. But let's see. As we continue to go, another long liquidated. So now we're at 4 longs liquidated in a row. So yeah, the rush is coming. Now the dump has officially commenced. Dow Jones down to 212. We are in full sell mode. ETH down to 1498. Bitcoin 21,614. Bitcoin might hold up pretty well. In fact, let's not kid ourselves here. We may not see the sell-off that we're looking at on Bitcoin. It might end up holding itself pretty well. I mean, listen, this we're not exactly there yet, but this line that we created down here that I said we're going to probably bounce off of, that's the support from November. And I have a feeling that the bulls are interested in defending this level right here. I mean, if that's the case, if I got a bunch of money and I'm defending, right, then this right here is the area that I'm defending the most, because that represents the collapse of FTX. So if I can at any cost hold my position, that's where I would want to hold my position, so that people aren't reminded of the FTX collapse. Like that's where I would be holding. Dow Jones down 216 points, continuing to bleed just a little bit. Crow is capitulating. SHIB is still going down. Doge going to be in a buy mode pretty soon. Doge keeps this up, then people are actually going to be looking at it being like, yeah, this is going to be a good buy opportunity. If you can get it down here at 5.5 cents, if you can get 5.6, 5.7 cents, then Doge becomes a buy again, because it's going to pump to 8 or 9 cents or 10 cents at some point. So great opportunity to accumulate. Mina Protocol. Let's go check that out. Barely down on the day. So certainly not in the buy zone at $1.15 or 92 cents or any one of those cents. But if it comes back down and it starts to test some of these, then it is absolute buy zone on Mina Protocol. Gala. Where does Gala fit in? Gala at 2.5 cents or so becomes a buy, I would think. I mean, probably not going to see 1.5 again. That's probably too much to expect. But that 2.5 right there is probably a pretty decent accumulation zone. So right there, that's a shit. that yellow line right there, that would be a spot where we want to accumulate on Gala. I wouldn't be interested in getting into it at something else, right? Yeah, let's see. Crow, if we can get in, if Crow's going to dip, 6.8. You actually, if we get a good dip, 6.2 is probably that's probably the money move right there. 6.25 is probably the money move. Shib, the local on Shib is going to be 1122, maybe 1150. 1078 is going to be a good spot, but this would be kind of the level that I would be looking for, somewhere in that right there. Yeah, that happens to be at the 1,000 level. Yeah, so 1,001. Anything down to 1,001. I mean, you got to consider if we're sitting at 1222 right now and we're dumping, then anything below this yellow line right now is going to be a profitable opportunity. Just to consider here, if you buy it at 1,000 and it runs up to 1,500, that's a 50% profit. So, and you don't really have taxes or anything to worry about. So, I mean, who cares, you know? So you're in a good position. Yeah, I mean, you're in a pretty good position. So, Dow Jones is not going down as much as was originally that original dip was not happening, and we're getting some buyback right now on the market. So here we go. They're defending the position. 1508 on Ethereum, Bitcoin 21,690. So yeah, there's some wiggle room, there's some play room, and the market is continuing to pump. Now, again, here's the question. I don't think that it is, but the potential exists where is this the moment where Bitcoin becomes the hedge against inflation? I mean, that's the question that you got to ask right now. And, I don't know the answer. I don't think we're going to know the answer, but I mean, we're certainly seeing some resolve in the short term in the market right now to try to hold on. So the bulls are actively protecting the charts at the moment. And trying to hold that price action liquidation rush. Let's do a refresh on that. Long liquidation. So we're still not really seeing any shorts being popped. Last one we saw was an hour ago. So yeah, we're crypto is on its heels right now. So this right here, by the way, is the pivot for FTX. So we need that 1.011 trillion market cap to really be over that FTX collapse. Otherwise, in the crypto total market cap, we're just falling back into that line. Now, you could also, by the way, we could put like a little mini line right here, and let's do a ray right there. And you can make an argument that that's the spot right there, because that's when it started to happen, or that's where it settled before the dump happened on the, that day is where we started at 975 before the news came out and the collapse happened. So you can make an argument that that was it, but we were also getting word that it was going to happen the days leading up to it. So we knew it was coming. So that first red day should be representative of the spot. So we're kind of defending. You can see like right on that line. So, I mean, I guess we're going to find out pretty soon. All right. Hex, not a play to me. Well, it is to me, not because I like Hex. I mean, look, Hex doesn't do anything. Hex is just a token that does token stuff. I can't say the P word, but there's a lot of liquidity in it. There's a lot of opportunity. And I mean, look at the way this price runs. Every time it hits these low numbers, it goes down here. Like it was at 15 cents and now it's at, it went up to like 6. It went 4x basically. So, it never feels like a buy to me. It just feels like a flip opportunity. I mean, it's not going to be, I mean, it's certainly not a long-term hold for me, because I'm not staking that shit forever and not doing anything. I saw a guy one time, people were talking about staking and hex and stuff like that. And the guy was like, yeah, I mean, you could stake it for like 359 million billion years. And then all of a sudden you're just going to be rich because you have it. It makes no fucking sense. Why are you telling me this? You know what I mean? Like that's nonsense to me. But there is a group of people who are super fanatical about it, and look, the price ran. You know what I mean? Like if you just accumulated right here, and you got whatever you got, if you put, look, I mean, if you put $5,000 in here just a little while ago, you made 20 grand off of it. You know? Yeah, people stake for years at a time. And to be fair, I mean, you know, you really, all right, let's say that, I don't know what the yield on it is, but let's say that the yield is 25% per year. Well, they have 50% more. So let's just say you put 10 grand in here, right? At a penny and a half, or let's say you put it in at 2 cents, and you come back over here and you look at when the market is not in that massive dip. Like that's what matters, right? Is the market in a massive dip, right? Well, we're breaking out of the bear market into a bull market, then you're probably going to see at least 10, 12 cents, right? So considering you bought it you bought 10,000 at 2, then you're going to get 50% more. That would basically mean that you would have 15,000 worth at that point. But then the price action is going to be up here in the 17, 18, 19 cents range, or, you know, somewhere near that top at 20 cents. So you're up 10x on something that you got 50% more of. That's 150 grand. I mean, that's, you know, like they're right in the context that becomes life changing, because, you know, this shit is crazy. So, I mean, the possibility certainly exists that, that you can make an enormous flip by staking this stuff for a long period of time. I'm not interested. I'm more interested in, you know, give me a nice dip like this one more time, and I'll just sit there and hold it for 2 months and cash it out 4 or 5x. You know what I mean? So crypto market has recovered. It's now dead even with where it was yesterday. Ethereum looks like it's running. Bitcoin, same kind of thing. Dow Jones now at 175. So shit. I mean, maybe they're looking at this 6.4 and they're starting to parse the data and they're liking what they're seeing, as opposed to, I mean, look, we're getting the rate hikes. They already knew the rate hikes were coming. Maybe it's priced in, you know, maybe people are just kind of feeling like, let's make something happen, and maybe something will happen anyway. So anyway, guys, that's my time. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Thank you so much for coming in. I look, if I'm somebody who's in a position with Bone, I'll be dumping it. I'll be taking my profit on Bone, waiting for an opportunity to buy in, because that price is coming way down. That 76 cents is attractive. Shib, probably same thing in short order. We're gonna start seeing that. Volt, I mean, get ready for Volt. There's another burn coming. As a matter of fact, today, I think in about an hour and 15 minutes, we're going to do the Polygon DAO proposal. I think goes up. So we're going to see that Polygon thing happening in fairly short order, or at least we're going to do the voting on it. So, and that was in the thing. And by the way, 5 centralized exchanges, 2 of them in the chamber, ready to go, could be launched any day. So, guys, that Volt thing is, Volt is about to move. Volt is about to move big time. And look, Voltoshi is not one for hyperbole. Voltoshi is one for results, right? So you're about to get 2 tier 1 exchanges. You're about to get just a massive amount of burn. You're about to get a new bridge chain. You're about to get an even bigger run on the supply. You're about to get a reduced supply. you're about to get everything you've ever wanted and didn't know you needed. So, I mean, strap yourself in, because you're about to get vaulted. And do you know how I know that? Do you know how I know that? Because I know somebody who knows everything.
I'm about to drop some hugely powerful alpha. And that's what they call it. They call it alpha, believe me. Okay? And not many people know this, but alpha means that I know big things, strong things, powerful things. So here's the alpha, folks. If you want to be hugely rich like me, you got to join and subscribe to the BLEEVESCRYPTO YouTube channel. You got to become a member, because many people say, quite frankly, it's the strongest YouTube channel out there. It's fantastic. It's the best. So let me know what you think, folks. Funny Donald out.
In closing, I will have you guys know that I am now running that ad on Rodney's channel, on Austin's channel, on Zach's channel, on Austin Hilton's channel, on Zach Humphreys, on Jake Gagan, on BitBoy Crypto, on Altcoin Daily. I'm running that sumbitch everywhere. So yeah. In case you wonder if I spend my money wisely, I do not. All right, guys, that's my time. We'll talk to you again very, very soon. We'll see you for bedtime tonight, and we'll see how this market plays out.
I'm looking for the good life, good life. Sitting on top of the world, I wanna be shining like diamonds and pearls.